This video is sponsored by FlexiSpot. A big thanks to Hollyland for sending us this unit to review. If you've been watching our recent videos, you may have seen a couple of reviews for other wireless transmission systems. Taylor and I have been on the lookout to replace our existing systems, and this is the latest candidate in the row. This is the Hollyland Cosmo C2. It features fairly low latency, and it has a bit of an ace up its sleeve. While the kit does come with just a single transmitter and receiver, this receiver is actually a stereo receiver. It can receive two video sources at the same time. That is pretty cool, and we'll talk more about it later. Now, you can buy this kit as a single transmitter or a dual transmitter combo, and we have the dual transmitter combo that comes with the hard case here. And while it is nice that it comes with a hard case, we must note that the latches are not particularly confidence-inspiring. Inside the box, you get one AC adapter, some extra antennas, and some extra mounting points that go into the accessory mounting slot on the transmitters, and obviously the units themselves. What we do want to say though is that it would be nice to see some DTAP cables that go to DC included in this kit. Buying your own DTAP cable is something that needs just a tiny bit of research, and it just would be something that would be nice to see included in a kit like this. Now, it is probably worth pointing out that this is a larger kit designed for broadcast production and productions where you're going to have multiple cameras on set. But that's not to say you cannot use it for smaller productions with just one camera, although we did use this on a multicam shoot and it performed perfectly well. Okay, so let's start with a bit of a physical overview. The transmitters in this kit are fairly similar to some of the other Hollyland transmitters that we have seen in the past. They're built quite well, they're made out of a metal or magnesium alloy. They do feature a USB for firmware, as well as an SDI loop-through, that means it's got an in and an out, as well as HDMI. The device does only do 1080p, and it is probably worth noting that the SDI does not support DCI aspect ratios, but that isn't very common in the devices that we have tested so far, so these do stack up pretty comparably. But we still want to mention it because we would like to start seeing it on devices going forward. It features removable antennas, which we think is probably an essential feature on a product in this price range. They feature NPF-style battery plates on the back, as well as a locking DC connection. We would like to note that on the bottom it does feature ARRI-style locating pins, but they're not very deep, so you might not be able to get them all the way in, but we suspect they will work. Lastly, we have an on and off switch and a joystick for controlling the on-screen menus, and we have a little bit of a screen over here as well. Okay, so moving on to the receiver. This unit is quite a lot bigger than the transmitters, as you can probably tell, and the first difference that you might notice is that it has a full-size V-mount plate on the back, which is awesome. The receiver features two mounting points at the bottom, a bigger and a smaller one, which is kind of neat to see. It has a big screen in the middle with 3 buttons, and a big blue receiver symbol so that you can tell them apart, which again, in a kit like this, we don't think you're going to get them mistaken very often, but it's still nice to see that little bit of consistency across their branding. Next up, on this side, we have a locking DC barrel connector, whereas on this side, we have a USB connector for updating the firmware and stuff like that. We also see an SDI and HDMI out on both sides, and that is so each of these transmitters can connect to this and send a feed out either way. And lastly, the unit also features a LAN port, which does accept the NDI protocols. One thing that I do want to note about this unit is that it is quite a lot bigger, obviously, than the transmitters. And as a result, to keep the weight down, they've made this one mostly out of plastic. Now, we don't think that that's going to be too much of a big deal, especially because this has 2 outputs on it. Let's be honest, it's probably not going to be a very mobile piece of kit for you, but it is worth noting that the build quality on this does seem a little bit worse than the transmitters. It is also probably worth noting that because this is a stereo unit, if you're only using one transmitter, you want to be sure you're connected to the correct output. There's an A and a B, and there's also an A and a B tally light to tell you which one's connected. So you don't want to be connected up to A, but then have HDMI coming out of B. You're not going to get signal. Something to note as well, that even though this kit does support 2 feeds, it does not combine them over one output, which might have been cool to see. You will have to connect 2 HDMI cables out of this into either a monitor or a television that can do picture-in-picture or picture-by-picture, or 2 cables into 2 different monitors. The device cannot combine them natively, which is a little bit disappointing, but we do understand the limitation. First impressions of using the kit are quite positive. We found that everything connected up quite quickly and everything went pretty smoothly. I was kind of expecting to see some connection issues having this many transmitters going to one box, but it all worked really well. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about image quality, but before we do, let's talk about our sponsor for this video, FlexiSpot. If you're someone who spends hours editing or building camera setups, the FlexiSpot E7 Pro desk might be just what you need. It's a motorized standing desk. It supports up to 200 kilograms, so whether you're working with editing gear or setting up a camera rig, this desk can handle it no problem. As a lot of you know, Taylor hurt his back recently, and sitting or standing for long periods just isn't comfortable for him at the moment. But with the FlexiSpot E7 Pro, he can pretty easily switch between sitting and standing, which really helps him stay comfortable and keep working without any issues. It has a super smooth and quiet motor, a solid design, and even comes with a few color options to match your space. Plus, it makes taking breaks to stretch or stand up easy, so you can stay productive throughout the day. The desk also features some really awesome cable management options in case you wanted to hide a power board and make things nice and neat. And as a bonus, Taylor's cat seemed to really enjoy it as well. Oh, and building it? Even with his back injury, Taylor put it together in about an hour. We'd recommend using a power drill with a Phillips head and Allen key bits. It'll definitely speed things up. If you're looking to upgrade your desk, the FlexiSpot E7 Pro is a solid choice. We'll leave a link down in the description if you want to check it out. Okay, back to the image quality. Now this has been a bit of a concern for us given some of the recent devices that we have tested, and we're pleased to say that these devices do have good images. They may not feature 4K, but they're crisp and sharp, and they do not have much macro blocking, so you can actually tell what's in focus versus what isn't. When it comes to range, the device is rated for around 1 kilometer. We did manage to test it about 500 meters, and it didn't even have proper line of sight, and the signal was still perfect. But it is probably worth noting that the environment you're in can impact this, so we don't really want to call this a scientific test, but we're just saying that we found that the range on these was very acceptable. When it comes to image latency, this kit is advertised to have around 33 milliseconds of latency, which does put it pretty ballpark in between the DJI SDR transmission and the Axoon CineMaster 4K that we tested recently. Big question is whether or not they are usable for focus pulling. This is a topic that we did get into a little bit in our Axoon review as well, where we found the latency was probably acceptable, but the image quality was not good enough to allow for proper focus pulling. These we feel, although they are a little bit slower, are still quick enough, and because of the improved image quality, we do actually think that they're much better for focus pulling. And on the test shoots that we sent these out on, none of our ACs have complained about the latency. They all thought it was perfectly acceptable. Now, obviously, it is still worth mentioning that if you're looking to do really fast-moving stuff and latency is super critical, a Teradek system might still be the best for you. But I do want to mention that I have been on some bigger productions where their A cam has been set up with a Teradek and their B cam has been set up with something like the DJI transmission system, which is in a very similar latency class to this. And we're talking movies with budgets over a couple $1 million here. So I think if a system with that sort of latency is acceptable there, there's a pretty high chance that it's probably going to be acceptable for you if you're shopping in this price range. But it is still something that we'd like to point out. Personally, I do have Teradeks, and I think it would probably be a little bit unfair not to mention that. Overall, we've been very happy with these units, but we must say that there's probably one major con that is probably going to be a bit of a talking point for a lot of people shopping for this type of system. There's no Wi-Fi app to get your signal to a phone or a tablet. And while it is probably good to point out that the Teradek and the DJI transmission, the big one, do not have apps either, devices in this class and price range typically do, and we do think it's a pretty killer feature that this doesn't have. We did ask Hollyland if it's going to be possible for them to update the existing app to use these transmitters, and they said it's not possible because these use a different wireless technology altogether. We can only speculate here, but we think that Hollyland is using a very similar technology to DJI with their bigger transmission system, and that's probably why the image quality and latency are quite similar, and like we say, neither of them have an app. Now, there is a bit of a workaround here. You can buy a fairly cheap transmitter to put onto your receiver so you can still send an image to phones, and we'll leave a link down below to where you can find one. So overall, I think Taylor and I are comfortable saying that if you're not looking for a system that has an app, this system is probably going to be our go-to recommendation for entry-level wireless video transmission systems, which is pretty good for Hollyland. And that about does it here for us today. If you liked the video, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribe. We'll see you next time.